Good morning and welcome to Wholesome Roots.
Good morning, babies. Did I scare you? I mean to scare you. I just want to say good morning. Good morning, fancy girl. How's my sweet girl? Simple girl. Mama's baby. She's sweet. Oh, what? Now you want more love? You gotta jump up for more love? Oh, my sweet girl. Oh, yes. A scratch right there, right? Oh, wait. No, that wasn't the spot, huh? Well, this may not excite many of you, but this really excites me. This was a throwaway that we got for free. And it's this awesome Rubbermaid cabinet, and it fits perfect right here. So now I've got access to it close to the milk stand and the feed buckets, and I'll be able to turn this, all of my supplies, into a nice organized thing over there. And I am so thrilled about that. I've been looking and wanting something to put all of our supplies in, and this just happened to land in our laps. So grateful for that. Fancy girl, you're such a spoiled little girl. Fancy girl wasn't giving me enough milk to make it worth my time to milk her. Her udder's just never been very productive. You see, there's hardly anything in there. Her buckling's taking it all. But she needs the food still to help her produce milk for her little buckling. So she gets spoiled. She is my spoiled baby girl. She gets all the love and scratching and food she wants. Spoiled. What's that? Is that yummy? Shady girl here is giving a little bit of milk. She has 2 dolings on her, so she's saving most of her milk for them. I know, your food is empty. Your food is empty, but I wanted to tell people a little bit about you. She is our really docile goat. Well, they're all docile. She has a really nice looking udder, but she doesn't let us have it all. She's really good about holding back milk for her kids. Goats will do that. They will hold back milk. Sorry, she's plowing the over. They will hold back milk for their babies, for their kids, and save it in the udder and not let it come out while you're milking. So it gets to the point where it's like I'm getting a little out, but it's like so much work on my hands that I just give up. Let the babies have it. We have enough milk coming from Kitty and Sister Ray that we truly don't need the other milk. Next year will be a different story, and we'll be seeking to increase production tenfold. I mean, I want high production from all my does and have the ability to sell the milk. Kitty has a very big full udder. She gives me about half a gallon a day. So that's more than enough for our family's needs. Sister, turn around. You're facing the wrong way. Sister Ray wins the award for prettiest goat. Hey, where are you going? Come back, sugar. Oh, I didn't put the food in the bowl. Of course. Why would I go up there, Mom? Come on. Come on. Nope. You gotta go up on the stand. Go on. Get up there. Go. Oh. Gotta put your head in the stanchion, sugar. So we forgive Sister Ray for a little bit of this silly behavior. She is blind in one eye, so she doesn't always seem to be aware of where she's going and what she's doing. Actually, that's not true. She's always aware. She's just stubborn. She is probably one of our prettiest goats with an incredible udder and production level. She also gives a half a gallon a day. She my girl. She my sweet girl. What in the world? It is a perfectly sunny, beautiful day, and it's pouring rain out of nowhere. Just heard a big clap of thunder, and Bam! The bottom dropped out. This, my friends, is why gardening has been so difficult this year in Georgia. This is also why parasites are such a huge issue in the southeast. People from other parts of the country don't understand and cannot fathom what people in the southeast go through with parasites in their animals. The rain and the heat make it impossible to have complete control. Same, Eugene. Same. I feel you, bro. I want to go out too. We want that rain to stop.
May you always keep your head held up high. Pretty little thing, you're a diamond in the rough, shining from within. I can tell that you're tough. Just the sight of you when I'm at my weakest point makes a world of difference, so you make me strong. Pretty little thing, you're a diamond in the rough, shining from within. I can tell that you're tough. Order in a cup of love, feel it rising up and above. You will always keep my heart and soul strong. Plant your seeds and watch them grow. The light will always know where to go. You will always keep my heart and soul strong.
Good boys. Share, okay? That was just a little extra to tempt you up here in the rain. It's no longer raining, but goats don't like to walk through puddles either. They're very stubborn sometimes. They can be worse than a cat. Right, Bo? How you feeling? Your head still hurting a little? Poor guy. Poor guy. You're okay. Fight for some food, buddy. It'll make you feel better. He's such a beautiful animal. You are too, Tom. You are too. There you go. Get some yummy hay. Nice and fresh just for you, buddy. The ducks, on the other hand, love these puddles. Animals are weird. Goats and rain do not get along for so many reasons. Parasites is one of the big ones. There's a direct correlation between hot, wet weather and high parasite loads in small ruminants. It makes it very difficult to raise sheep and goats in the southeast. Even with a strong protocol of weekly herbal supplements, even then you can end up with parasites. Even if you use chemical dewormers, you can still end up with high parasite loads. It's kind of the thing. It is the thing. Not kind of, it is. It's something that you have to be ready and prepared for if you're looking at having goats or sheep in the southeast or anywhere where it's hot and wet on a regular basis. The weekly herbs definitely help prevent high numbers, but they cannot possibly prevent all numbers from being in existence. There's always going to be parasites in your animal. But the idea is that if you keep a close eye on your animals, you check them regularly, you look at their FAMACHA score, which tells you if they're anemic, You look at their body condition, which tells you if something's off. You look at their poop, which also tells you if there's something off. If you keep close eye on your animals, you can catch it in the early stages and treat it properly. For us, treating properly is using the natural herbal dewormers. We also use other things as well that are natural. I will be doing a video on that very soon. I've just got to get my brain together and sit down and do it. Because this has been one of the wettest, hottest summers on record here in Georgia, we're looking at doing a full moon, full herbal arsenal deworming protocol at the end of this month to make sure that every one of our goats is in perfect health and parasite level before we begin breeding. There are many reports that parasite levels increase around the full moon. Whether this is scientifically based or if it's just a theory, it's one that's worth looking at and paying attention to, in my opinion. So many things do operate on a lunar cycle that it's very likely that it affects the parasites as well. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna do 3 days of intensive deworming on every animal on the farm. It's going to be the day before, the day of, and the day after the full moon. And so we're gonna use the herbs, the garlic ginger paste, and the essential oils that we know work for deworming these parasites. All of these things are also very good at boosting the immune system. So during this wet weather, the other things we run into is pneumonia. Even though it's hot out, pneumonia is a huge, fast killer of goats. It happens overnight. You won't even see the symptoms. Sometimes the goat will just be dead. And it turns out to be silent pneumonia. You can often get summer colds in your goat herd when you're having a lot of wet conditions. A lot of that could be due to keeping them inside in their stalls and not a lot of airflow during the major rainstorms. That's why, even though the ground is still wet, I'm putting the goats out because I want them to have that fresh air. And hopefully, as sunny as it is today, the ground is going to dry up really fast and it won't cause an issue for them. But let's face it, there's never a perfect answer for any of this. You just have to do what you feel works best for yourself and your animals, and don't judge other people for how they manage their herd or their animals or their livestock or any of their homesteading staff. They're doing what they know to do, what they want to do, and what they can do. And that's all you can do. So make sure that if somebody else has a different opinion than you, or a different way of doing things, don't judge them, don't criticize them, just think about it. Consider the source of the information, consider their level of caring and education, and know that there's a balance. Sometimes people don't know everything and they have to fight through the learning. Sometimes people don't care and they just don't do it. But most of the time, people care and they teach themselves through every trial and tribulation. That's where a lot of my experience in education has come from, is the trial and error of taking care of my animals and making sure that I do the best that I can do. All right, I've got my seed starting trays picked out here. I've got to get some seed starting soil, and then I've got this bed ready for putting seeds straight into the ground. There are some fall plants that I like to start from seed and then plant into the ground as plants. I'll talk about that more in a future video about fall planting. For those of you that have been sending well wishes and prayers my way from my difficult health journey, I greatly appreciate it. My lab results are in, and I go and meet with the doctor tomorrow to discuss what my treatment protocol is going to be. one of the tests that we had done did come back positive. So I've been mulling over this diagnosis for the last couple of days in private, you know, just trying to come to terms with it. After I talk to the doctor, I'm going to share with you guys what it is and what we're going to do about it. So just know that it is good to know what's wrong and why all of these symptoms have been troubling me is very clear now. And that hopefully we can at least get the symptoms under control. So there is some hope that I'll be back to gardening normal again. That would be lovely. So keep the prayers up, and you know, no matter what you're faced with in life, just know that you just have to keep pushing through it, and you just have to keep fighting. Even if it seems like you're not going to gain anything from the fight, know that you just have to keep doing it. And I am going to fight this as best as I can. I may or may not have great results, but I'm still going to fight. It's not going to discourage me. I'm not going to let it get me down. I'm not saying that it doesn't bother me. It's been very emotional last couple of days. So thank you guys for understanding why there's not as many videos out as usual, and I appreciate all of your love and kindness and support. Somebody, some very kind person, went on our Amazon wish list and ordered us some deworming herbs from Wildcraft, and they look amazing. So I'm gonna use those herbs in addition to my Molly's Herbals when I do the 3-day full moon deworming. So I'm really excited about that. The paperwork, the packing slip did not say who it was from, so a huge thank you to whoever sent that to us. I appreciate it, and it will come in very handy for our herd. Thank you. I was talking to my friend Robert over at Daybird Aviaries about the herbal dewormers and why I use Molly's Herbal, or why other people use Land of Havilah, and what about Fir Meadows, what about Wildcraft. There's so many. Granny's Best is another one that you can find on Amazon. There's so many different herbal dewormers. Most of them have the same ingredients. What I would like to do is come up with my own recipe. Come up with a list of the herbs used in all of the different dewormers. Because although most of them have the same basic ingredients, a lot of them have different ingredients that aren't in others. So the only thing I need to finalize and kind of make a little more clear in my understanding is the ratios of those herbs. I haven't been able to find anywhere where it lists the proper ratios for each of those herbs, but I've heard that there's a book out there that has actual recipes for herbal dewormer to make it yourself with bulk herbs. If you guys know what that book is, let me know. I've heard that it's like a $100 book, like it's a really big one. If you know the name of that book, let me know. If you have a copy of it, it would be so amazing if you could take a picture or scan it or something and send me the recipe, so that I'd have at least a baseline of where to start for the ratios. I know a lot of the herbs you can't do too much of. So it's not a matter of being worried that I'm gonna overdose on garlic or thyme, but the things like wormwood, oops, ow. The things like wormwood and black walnut hulls, I know you have to be very careful with the amounts you use. So I'm gonna try to do further research on each of the herbs and see if I can find more information. And then once I have a recipe put together, I'm gonna share it with you guys, because I think that's a great way to do this, because there are so many different herbs out there available in bulk that I could make this a lot more affordable than buying the pre-mix packages. The only problem is I don't know the recipe to use. So I'm gonna try to learn as much as I can about each individual herb so I can create my own recipe It'd be great if I had a recipe to start with though. That's what I normally do for like anything in my cooking and stuff, is I look up like 5 different recipes and then create my own. So I'm going to probably start my breeding program in October, probably the end of October, depending on who I see in heat, starting in the beginning of October. Because I want March babies, but I found out last year that some of them didn't take the first breeding, and so I ended up with some later in the season babies than I was intending to. So I'm gonna go ahead and start it earlier. So we could end up with February babies, which kind of scares me because I don't like the idea of babies being born in cold weather and facing hypothermia. If I'm not there for the birth and I don't know the baby's been born, there's a chance that that baby could get too cold too fast, and that's not good at all. So really hoping for March, but we're gonna start in October with the possibility of some being born in February. So now the rain has stopped and the sun has come out again, and there is new hope on the horizon. I really am looking forward to breeding these goats again, getting my goat herd right where I want it to be for next spring. And hopefully, now that I have some diagnosis for my issues, I'll be feeling so good next spring that having 10 goats and milk or more will be so easy and fun for me like it was supposed to be this year. I didn't quite have 10 this year, but we were getting close. But next year, I keep saying that, don't I? Next year is gonna be our year. I'm hoping that the fall garden will be much better than the summer garden, because hopefully my energy will come up in time for that. And if it doesn't, oh well, then I'll just focus on creating healthy soil for the spring. You just have to work with what you got, guys. Just gotta work with what you have. Thank you guys for watching. Please like, share, comment down below, subscribe if you haven't already, and we'll see you next time on Wholesome Roots.